Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor, and this video is going to talk about 5 things that they're very important to know before you even go to write your first blog post or make your first YouTube video or create your business. It's essential. It's a fundamental, essential thing to know. And it's information that I read about and people try to teach me that I ignored in the beginning because I sort of had my own mindset about everything. Now in retrospect, I can see I wasted a ton of time and created a lot of content that was basically useless to me and useless to other people because again I ignored this message I'm going to share with you. And I also want to kind of preface it with, it's very important. Really, I hope you keep this in the back of your mind when you're creating your content. Okay? So the first one, essentially it all revolves around you having a very clear idea of who you're speaking to, knowing your audience is the theme of all this. So number one is, this is a good technique or a good exercise to do, and a lot of business coaches will say to do this, but create an avatar of your ideal viewer, reader, customer, etc. What do they look like? What are they into? Who do you want to talk to? I don't want to talk to everybody. I don't want to talk to really religious, rigid, fundamentalist, extreme type of, puritanical type of mindset. That's why I swear sometimes, kind of weed them out. I have an idea of who I want to talk to. I want to talk to people who I think are cool, people who I think are down to earth and smart and will just be like fun to hang out with. That's my avatar, which is actually a lot more vague than a lot of people would suggest. Most people go to such lengths of creating an actual person that they envision themselves speaking to or talking to or writing to. They have a name, they have an occupation, they have a house somewhere in the world, and they really some people print it out and put it, by their computer or whatever, and you really want to know who you're talking to. You don't want to, this will get into number 2 actually. Don't be too broad. Don't think there's so many people on the planet. There's enough of your ideal type of people. There's plenty of them, so you don't have to necessarily be overly vague, overly broad, overly general in hopes of capturing the attention of everybody. That might seem wise on some level, but the problem with that is no one's gonna really love you all that much if you're again, you sort of dilute your message and funnel it in a way that's just super general and super vague as a means of acquiring as many viewers or customers or whatever as possible. It doesn't work that way. It's good and wise to turn people away. It's good to stand for something. Just be completely honestly yourself. And people will respect you for that and they'll really love you for that. And then you'll have you might have, say, a little bit less of an audience, but they'll be raving fans. There'll be people who really love you and love what you have to say. And that's what you want. You want to build that connection. You're never going to build a connection if you're just boring and dry and again trying to capture the attention of everybody. It doesn't work that way. If you're pissing people off, if you have people getting really mad at you, that's good. That means you're standing for something. A lot of people don't like me. A lot of people get really upset when I swear, say the F word sometimes, and they find me just way too over the top and bold and masculine or whatever. And that's okay. I'm just being myself. And again, I could easily I won't swear, I won't be too aggressive, I won't do this. But then a lot of people who really like me and respect me, they're not going to like me that much. They're going to see I've changed and being kind of phony. So really think hard. Who do you want to talk to? Who's the ideal type of person you want to talk to? And talk to just them. Don't be too broad. Number 3, and this pertains a lot to it pertains to coming up with ideas for content, especially a product or a service you're selling. You want to really keep in mind the actual desires and needs of your audience. A lot of times it's common, I do this a lot as a personal trainer. I try to give people what I really believe they needed to get the result I knew they wanted, but they didn't want that. They just didn't want it. For example, I trained middle-aged women who want to come in and get a lose 20 pounds real fast. I wanted to transform them on a deep level. I wanted them to become fit and stay fit and become balanced and self-empowered. And I would try to I had a YouTube page when I had a gym, and I would talk about that kind of thing. And they didn't give two shit. They didn't care. It's not what they wanted. And then, so what I did is the idea is to kind of blend what you really believe they need in the heart and present it in a way that's something that's attractive to them. So I would still sort of try to help transform them, but I would do it in a much more creative and clever and subtle way, because I knew if I was just too upfront, they don't have an interest in that. They're not looking for that, and therefore they're going to just go to somebody else. What is keeping them up at night? What are they struggling with? How can you channel what you want, channel your passion to help them in a way that they will be receptive to? Number 4 is just be authentic. Just be yourself. It's the easiest thing to do. There's no good luck maintaining some sort of character facade over the period of time. It takes a lot of energy to be fake and to be phony and to be a people pleaser. You're gonna get tired of doing that. You're gonna set yourself up for people to eventually start seeing through that as your mask starts to slip. And why? People don't like that. People nowadays are smarter and more perceptive and respect and appreciate someone who's brutally, honestly, authentically themselves. And then there's no character to uphold. There's no struggle. All you gotta do is be yourself, and you can always rely on that. You don't have to premeditate or think too hard about anything. As long as you're just honest and yourself, for one, people will love it. There's a lack of that, and it's easy, and you'll come off as consistent. You won't set yourself up for people to start noticing discrepancies. Like, you were going on about this, and now you're saying this, and people can smell bullshit. But if you write blogs or make videos every day, just be yourself. Number 5 is allow your personality to come out in your content. People don't want, nowadays anyway, just dry information. Even it might be helpful, but it's not entertaining, it's boring. What people want is to connect with somebody and build almost like an actual friendship with them. And this person, the speaker, the blog, you guys are also helping them. That's how you create raving fans that love you to pieces. That's what you want. Those same fans, if they know you, they like you, they trust you, they'll eventually buy from you. And then you can complete that circle. So you're not just giving. You got to have ways of receiving too. Otherwise you're going to burn out, and you got to pay the bills, and you're just going to stop. The idea is to do this as a career, do this forever. But again, if you're too broad, you don't know who the hell you're talking to, you're ignoring the actual desires of your prospects, your audience, you're lying and trying to be some sort of perfect macho or whatever, then it's just not going to work. I didn't make all these mistakes. I made the mistake of being way too broad, and again, doing what I thought people wanted rather than what would actually be helpful to them and what they actually wanted and needed. So hopefully that'll help you guys. I know this information is something I don't really keep in mind. It's sort of natural to me now, but it is very important. Again, you can just put it into practice and see. So I hope that helps you guys. I'm getting a little bit tired now. I'll speak to you tomorrow. Namaste.